Why do men develop sex addictions? Why do men say that they need multiple women? What's going on there? That all has to do with generational trauma. I am Carrie Blazer, reincarnation of Mary Magdalene. I'm here today to talk about my personal experiences and what I've learned from the men that I've attracted into my life and how that plays out for me. So let's start with a personal relationship that I had with Justin Waller. Oh wait, please like and subscribe, help my channel grow. I just got 100 subscribers yesterday, so I'm excited to get my message out and share my free ebook, which teaches you how to transform your emotional wounds into personal wisdom, teaches you how to heal from your childhood trauma. So let's start with Justin. And let's see, where is Justin today with regards to women? And I'm going to bring up a Fresh and Fit video that he was on, and we'll talk about it afterwards.
What's up next? The next one, right? So next, we got a clip here, right? My boy Justin, I think that's the next one, right, Bills?
Justin Waller.
Yeah, this is him, right? And this girl, Lila Rose, presses him. That's another reason why I put her on this thing to come in and debate. And she does exactly what a bunch of girls do on this podcast. Let's roll the clip real quick.
Can I ask you one more question?
Fire away, honey.
Okay. If you have only one place in your heart for one woman, or you want to have one woman in your heart, I think you said, why don't you just commit to one and choose to be faithful to her?
I'm just not wired that way. I spent my whole 20s trying to fix myself. Thought
You're a
was
man
wrong
of
with
self-control. You work out, you do business.
Yeah.
You can possess your own power and direct it the way you want to direct it.
It's not how I am.
You think that might be a limited mindset?
I think it's none of your business, but I don't want you to think I'm triggered by you. I'm not. Okay. I saw somebody say that, and I think that's interesting. I think you're annoying, but I'm not triggered. You know what I'm saying? No, you are. You're annoying in like this goody two-shoes type way, and that's fine. I'm going to live my life on my terms, unapologetically, like truly. So you can ask me this 85 different ways. At the end of the day, I'm going to walk out of here the same man.
Can I ask you one more question?
All right, pause.
Fire away.
See, so here's the thing. For any of you guys that know Justin in real life, he's really like that. He's
100%.
really like that. This guy's man's man, extremely successful, extremely masculine, takes care of his wife. She doesn't got to lift a finger, takes care of his family, takes care of those around him, built up.
So, I've noticed in my life that when someone's really busy being right, they don't take time to self-reflect. Okay, so, and that's what I was helping Justin do during our relationship. I mean, I asked him questions like, what have these women done to earn the privilege of making love to you? But that's not even in their mindset, because I'm all this, so I deserve all that. It's a mental game and not a heart game. And changing the world is an inside job, and we'll get into that in a second, but I knew that when I came to Justin's life, I wasn't healed. I mean, I still had 3 more years of healing to do before I got out of my Stockholm syndrome. Like, that's how traumatized I was. So how traumatized, so, we attract what we are so that we can see ourselves. I attracted in 6 men into my life, all with multiple women. And that's so I could see how much I didn't value myself, that I was, putting myself in an opportunity to be like, okay, I'll just be one of many. I'm not that important. I'm not that special. I'm just like everybody else. No, everyone is special. Everyone's an individual. No one is like everybody else. But we tell ourselves that as like a gaslighting method for ourselves, like, okay, well, everybody's just the same, so I'll just take a bunch of them. But what's really going on here? And this is what I had to learn. Why was I attracting men who couldn't access their own emotions? Oh, wait, maybe I couldn't access my own emotions too, so that I could see myself. So I'm going to bring up a few videos to show you the relationship between Justin and his mom, and to show you the kind of abuse that it takes to close down a man's heart to what's best for him. To close down a man's heart and lead women to their demise. Casual sex destroys women's ability to pair bond as wives and mothers. There's tons of evidence for it now. Women bond through sex. So how can women bond with all these different men and have it be healthy? Oh, this guy, oh, this guy. And then they shut down, and then they're reactive, and then, men don't want to be around them. So let's see what Justin's childhood was like. Okay, I mean, the man is a multimillionaire and he failed 6th grade. Obviously, there were some problems at home, and he's going to get into that in a second with his mom. So let me pull that one up so that we can, which one is it? I don't have, here it is. Sorry, I didn't pull it up. Okay, let me pull it up. Sorry about that. Let me pull this up. Okay. All right.
6'3", 210 pounds. And I said something to her. I was brushing my teeth and she said something crazy to me and I said something back. She went and she drew her fist up at me and her eyes would always get big. She was a strong woman. She read her fist back at me and I looked down at her and I asked her, what the are you really gonna do? And I'll never forget watching her almost shrivel back. And I knew, like, bro, she ain't hitting me no more. I'll never forget the day I knew.
He was 6'2". At 15 years old, finally at 6'2", he was able to stop her. Wow. That is how traumatized Justin Waller was in his childhood. And the root, so I also helped his best friend Andrew Tate, and I helped him with my shamanic gifts see that he had a major wound in his root. And men's root chakra is what fuels their masculinity, their sexuality. So if they repress there, then it comes out as overexpressed, lack of self-control. So, and then here we have, Justin's mom, very physically abusive. Only at 15, 6'2" could he finally stand up and say, no. How closed down is his heart to women after that experience as a child? And I'm going to quote Winston Churchill here, who said, it is said that famous men are often the product of an unhappy childhood. And that is what I learned, that if I want Mount Everest-sized wisdom, I had to take on Mount Everest-sized wounds. Justin Waller has taken on Mount Everest-sized wounds. And that's why we attract what we are. That's why I was attracted into his life. That his soul is a very advanced soul, had to take on a very complex, challenging childhood and learn, have the opportunity to grow out of that. How do I, in the midst of all this pain and trauma, learn how to reparent myself, to recalibrate my nervous system? And that's what healthy parenting does, is it calibrates our nervous system with love, compassion, and enlightenment instead of fear, guilt, and shame. His nervous system was programmed, it was calibrated for fear, guilt, and shame, just like mine, at a profound level. Hence, we were attracted to each other, so that we could see ourselves. So we had an opportunity for growth. But, I was still working through my stuff. I wasn't, didn't have any enlightenment experiences yet. And I couldn't, explain all of that yet. I hadn't grounded into that reality for myself. So I couldn't pull out of my heart and explain it to him like I can now. Okay. So let's go and watch another video of his mom. His mom. Okay, hang on a second. And talking about her son. That is not it. Hang on a second, I can't find. Oh.
My whole family loved him. He has the red hair of my mother's people. Very, very proud of him. He was very athletic. What grandparent wouldn't love a very athletic child?
Do you hear that she only talks about surface level? What grandparent wouldn't love an athletic child? Why does he have to perform to be loved? Why isn't he just loved?
He's always been cheered on. Everybody's screaming his name from the time he was
Why is that love? Everybody's screaming your name, Justin. See, you're loved. You're loved. Why don't you feel loved? That's an external solution to an internal problem. This is why change is an inside job. And you know what? I could pull up an Andrew Huberman, but I'll get back to that in a minute. But change being an inside job, and all she talks about is the outside. Well, we can only meet others as deeply as we've met ourselves, and she has not met herself on the inside, which is why she only focuses on, oh, we're clapping. See, we love you. I have physical proof that I'm clapping for you, and that means I love you. Does that sound like a mature, healthy mother? Doesn't sound like a healthy mother to me.
Was 4 years old on. After college, nobody's screaming his name anymore. And he doesn't have that food to fill him and thousands of people telling him he's wonderful.
Yeah, he doesn't have all of this external validation, so he doesn't know who he is. This woman lives in such a codependent reality that the only way he could feel validated is if everybody's screaming for him. That's the environment that he was raised in. Those beliefs are in his subconscious lying to him. This man is a beautiful man. And I'm going to show you in a second that he's a beautiful man. Okay? He's a beautiful man.
He's got to come up with this facade and say, oh, I had this terrible childhood. You know, we went through a lot of things. I did a lot of things wrong. Children don't come with instructions. You know, you just do the best you can.
There's no accountability there. Well, we all did it. It was hard. And, I didn't have an instruction manual. Where's the accountability? Where's the true apology? Apologies can only come with changed behavior. Well, I'm sorry if I made you feel that way. That is not an apology. That's gaslighting. An apology is, I'm sorry I abused you. I work every day to change. Can you please consider forgiving me at some point in the future? That's an apology, So, yeah. Whoa. But let me find... Oh yeah, there's another video I want you to see of how amazing Justin is. Okay, so let me pull this up, and I can show you how he paying it forward. That was one of the things he was focused on. I was focused on about how I can be healthy enough to pay it forward. So this is Justin, and we're gonna check him out.
You don't have to disrespect them to try to be better. You could even sit your parents down and say, hey, listen, I'm learning this, and this about fitness. I want to do better. I'd like to lose some weight. What parent is going to be like, no? It's when you go in with disrespect.
I want to apologize from the bottom of my heart that I raised him in like this.
Y'all hungry, right? Yeah. All right. Give me 10 pepperoni pizzas. Give me 50 chicken wings.
The prices are different out there, but wait, it's fine.
Can I get like 4 of the 2 liters of Sprite? Listen, here's our only rule, guys. I do this stuff. This is the last pizza you need to eat this year.
So, the question I have for the mom is, I'm so sorry, everyone that I raised. That's the most bullshit gaslighting. Why are you apologizing to other people? Apologize to your son, bitch. Like, what the fuck? Seriously, yeah, I've apologized to my kids. I'm sure I have more apologizing to do for my kids because I was not healed when they were young. I was wrong. I didn't know how to calibrate my own nervous system for love, compassion, and enlightenment. So I sure as heck didn't know how to teach them. But that's not their fault. That's my fault as the parent. I'm accountable to that. And when she's constantly seeking validation outside of herself. That's extremely codependent. The only validation we need is inside of ourselves. When men are having sex with multiple women, it's because they can't ground into their root chakra to bring out healthy masculinity. So when they don't have control over their sexuality, they don't have self-control, and that is masculinity. When masculinity comes out of a man's heart and he's naturally protective of other women when, he has a woman, that's a healthy man that you can trust in your environment. But a man that doesn't have any, dick control, because he has a wound down there that hasn't been addressed? That's a whole other ball of wax. So this is why, Justin says, I'm just built this way. Yeah, your childhood trauma built him this way. His childhood trauma built him this way. And so it's his job to learn how to get out of it. I mean, he's a man, a multimillionaire, having tons of casual sex, which leads women to their demise. How are you a high-value man when you are consistently leading women to their demise? Oh, he doesn't know yet because he hasn't healed yet. He hasn't come to that awareness yet, that level of emotional regulation, of emotional expansion. Why? Because he's so busy with all these women, he doesn't allow them to take them into this deeper, darker emotions. He doesn't know how to go through the rupture and repair process. I tried to do it with him. I brought up a problem between us, and he gave me a soft next for 4 days. Didn't talk, didn't read my text for 4 days. How is that emotionally mature behavior? It's not. But all of his friends around him, like Fresh and Fit, are all validating him. It's like the narcissistic men's group. They all validate, but they don't hold accountable. Right? Because how is a man's capacity to fuck a bitch equate with a man's capacity to lead a healthy nuclear family? And there's tons of historic and psychological evidence proving that the healthy nuclear family is what builds a stable society. One man with multiple women depletes other men of women. And those are the men that leave society and then come back and want to change everything. That's how you start a war. That's how you start a revolt. And we know that in history. So let's stop supporting this one man, multiple women scenario. We're growing out of it. I understand it was necessary. One man producing a lot of kids while a lot of men are dying in wars was necessary to keep the population growing, but we're not there anymore. There's a reason that part of the wisdom I unveiled during one of my enlightenment experiences shows how the feminine soul and the masculine soul are created. So we used to be one soul that housed both femininity and masculinity, but to grow and expand our consciousness, we needed to split into two souls, opposites, to mirror each other, to see ourselves. Like, we only know what tall is when we know what short is. We only know what beautiful is when we know what ugly is, right? So in order to see ourselves, we need to split into opposites. This is how it happened. The intent to create the masculine creates the feminine, shows you how important intent is, and the feminine tears out half of her heart chakra for the masculine. So she's the emotional center, and he's the orbiter with provision and protecting. Well, one man, multiple women's like the man's at the center and the women are all around him. How can he protect all of those women? I mean, seriously, if you got your dick of some other woman, how the fuck is he going to protect me? Do you see what I'm saying? And if he's with her, then how are we handling our challenges? And their argument is, well, women don't get that upset. Women can handle it. Well, yeah, women can handle it because our nervous systems are far more robust than men's nervous system. So our emotional breaking point is far more, vast than men's. Just like my physical breaking point is a lot shorter than Justin Waller's, who could handle this much physicality. I can handle this much. Where women can handle this much emotionality and men can handle this much. So when men are getting pummeled by their mothers at home through generational trauma, what happens is they don't trust women. And then they have this story that, well, they're all the same, so let's have a lot of them, and then I'll have some kids, but I won't have to open up emotionally because I'm wounded. But because all their friends are validating him and we attract what we are, they think that's normal, and there's been a whole push in society. I know there's a whole pushback now, and there's a lot of videos showing like Myron Gaines, how men have gone out and said, oh, I started fucking a lot of women, but then I was hurting everyone. And I'm only happy now when I'm in a monogamous relationship, a marriage, have kids. Men to be cared for emotionally. This is what our job is. So when men do not have an emotional center and they create a false sense of emotional center with other narcissistic men who only validate their crap and don't hold them accountable to their crap, this process continues. But That's part of the reason why I'm here, is to show how that is not a healthy way to date. How many women are only attracted, like if you look on Tinder, women only swipe right on the top 5% of men. That's how many women have been messed up. So I looked into this because, I'm a scholar and I love research. They can tell now with our genes, historically, 90% of women have procreated, where only 40% of men have procreated. Well, a lot of men died in war, and so men had to have multiple women, right? Because of war. So women, our souls, have developed a lot of codependencies with the top tier masculine souls that we're all breaking out of now. So we have to break all those codependent attachments that we have when we don't value ourselves. We attach to people. Oh, you have value, so I'm going to attach to you. So all these women attach to a man like Justin Waller, and then, I'm with him, so I have value. Oh yeah, well, they do too. We're just, what? And he's the center? How does that work out, like a laws of physics perspective? So if the woman is the emotional center, and the man has to leave the house to provide and protect, how can he orbit around multiple emotional centers and stay in balance with the ones? Confronting yourself every day is really hard, but new and new and new. A moment there's a problem gone, problem gone, problem gone. She's the problem, she's the problem, she's the problem. How is all that turnover healthy? There's no consistency, right? So I'm going to continue talking about that, but I love Justin. He's amazing. He's helped me so much see myself. I had an opportunity to help Andrew Tate, who also helped me tremendously. So I'm not here saying that they are bad people. I am here saying I understand their wounds, because I have wounds that attracted their wounds. So we could all help each other. All right, please like and subscribe. Thank you for listening. Bye.